The enemy ship was coming back to life, but after a moment of heart-stopping fear, Ro realized its focus was not on the two small creatures running around on the backside of the moon. It was firing itself up to return to Bellac and finish what it had tried to accomplish on its last attack. On his knees, he watched the immense craft slowly pull away from the satellite. Cramps were doubling him over as he tried to suffer through his pain and Gray's. Absorbing what he could from her to help alleviate her agony was proving to be too much. Gasping for breath, Ro fought the raging fire tearing him apart inside. Sweat dotted the inside of his helmet where it dripped off his face. A thin mist was beginning to build up inside the clear dome as well. Seconds later, the suit's cooling system kicked in. Gray! When Ro finally managed to look up, he spotted her. She had collapsed on the ground and huddled into a little ball as she fought the debilitating effects. Whatever was causing them such suffering had to have been brought about by the synergistic gene. Fighting it 1 foot at a time, Ro managed to crawl over to where she lay, convulsing from whatever was attacking their bodies. Gray, talk to me. She answered him with a whimper. Her eyes remained tightly squeezed shut, her lips pressed together. Sweat ran down her face. Gray, the enemy lifted off. They've gone back to Bellac. Now's our chance to see if the engines are alive. We can't stay on this rock. Ro. Come on, help me, Gray. He grabbed her arm, and again he saw the bright, intense glow shine from within. Bone and blood vessels were outlined as clearly as if the outer tissue never existed. It had to be because of their power, he told himself. Something about their power also had to be causing them this ungodly burning inside their bodies. They struggled to their feet and made it over to the flit, where Ro managed to boost her into the cockpit. Fire up the engines, he yelled as he circled the ship, detaching the cables and hoses which had been feeding the bubbled shelter. The low roar of the engines coming online lifted his spirits. There was hope they might get back after all. After double-checking to make sure all was secure and ready for takeoff, Ro finally climbed up into the cockpit and buckled himself in. In front of him, Grace sat with her hands on the trigger pins, but her head leaned forward. The pain was still with him, but its forcefulness had diminished. He reached out and laid a hand on her shoulder. As he expected, the white glare of light reappeared. Although he had been prepared to see it, its unearthly glow was still disconcerting. In the next instant, Ro realized that every time they connected, every time the light appeared, some of the pain evaporated. He was unaware of Gray's reaction until she reached up and placed a gloved hand on top of his. The shining bled through her hand as well, filling the entire cockpit with an opalescent brightness. Ro, what's happening? Her voice sounded stronger. I think it's our power. I think it's evolving. Huh? Reluctantly, he released her shoulder and all contact with her. The glow vanished, leaving them in inky darkness. Let's get the hell out of here. Heading up. Watch your sights, Gray. This is going to be some dirty flying with that makeshift tail. The flit wobbled as it lifted off its struts. Ro fought the controls. They were both flying blind, without their boards or any navigational cues. Even worse, they had no idea how much energy was in their shields. If the Kugovan managed to get in a good burst, and the ship was below the minimum efficiency range, the burst could literally melt them out of space. They pulled away from the moon. Below, the shelter shrunk into a tiny spot until it disappeared from sight. Gray sighed deeply with regret. I'm going to miss that place. Tiny threads of comprehension filtered through to him. It wasn't the crash or the emergency survival she was going to miss. It was the fact that the tiny bubble had become their intimate sanctuary, their love nest where they'd finally found pleasure and strength in each other. Rose smiled. Oddly enough, he was going to miss it too. Trust your instincts, Gray. Don't fire unless you're dead certain you'll hit a vital organ. All right, just be sure to keep us out of range of that damn thing's sights.